G'day guys, Steve Morgan here from Fishing Monthly magazines at a windy day at Raby Bay down at Cleveland in the southeast corner of Queensland, and behind me here we're getting some lifestyle shots done of CJ's Velocity 550 Sports. Now this is a demo rig put together by Stones Corner Marine in Brisbane. It's got a Yamaha F130 on the back, it's got a Humminbird Helix 9 in it, it's got a Minn Kota Altera on the front, the auto stow and deploy motor, and it's a great looking rig. So we've got a couple of experts here today. We've got Fitzy, who's or Gary Fitzgerald, who's the National Sales Manager for CJ, and we've got Troy Wegner from Stones Corner Marine. Let's talk to those guys about the technical specs of this rig, then we're going to get it out on the water, do some performance stats, and we'll be back to you later in this clip to tell you exactly how it went on a rough old Moreton Bay.
So this is the Velocity 550, 5.5 metres long, it's 2450 wide, massive fuel capacity, it's got 3mm sides and 4mm bottom. So some of the characteristics of the Samurai hull is a very sharp entry. The boat's designed to be able to handle offshore conditions, but it flattens out to about 16, 17 degrees at the back, and massive reverse chine. So what does that mean? It can handle the chop, handle some nice big swell, but it's really good stability at rest. So this is the latest 3D design using the latest CAD software. It's all computer cut on a latest CNC router. So what does that mean? That kind of means like old school, where you just get sheets of aluminium and you bang them together on a jig. You know, these things, they don't need to be pushed together, they just sit together beautifully. So what does that mean? It means no stress on the aluminium straight out of the manufacturing phase. Flared front bow, massive front casting deck, so it's designed for that dual use, you know, nice low area in the cockpit area, so for that lower centre of gravity and that safety of feeling. Big cast deck up the front, so you can get a couple of people up there casting. They all come with the electric motor mount, so you know, if you want to go lure, you know, pegging lures, or you want to just spot lock while you're doing a bit of live baiting, anything like that. Full transom on the rear end, come with a ladder, so you know, you're getting that dual use. Great for the bucks to go out chasing fish, and also good for the family use as well in a nice, dry, safe, stable ride. So the biggest boat you can have on the road is 2.5 metres. This thing's almost there, 2450 wide. So what does that mean? That kind of means we can build in those big reverse chines, big hole shot, and able to handle big 4-stroke engines, and also fantastic stability at rest. You're not rocking and rolling all over the place. So one of the biggest problems with aluminium boats is getting the right mix of trailer and boat. So CJ Boats have gone out and had our own trailers designed and manufactured in alloy and steel, in C-section and I-frame, to get that match really good. So if you get a CJ boat on a CJ trailer, you get an extra year's warranty.
We've set this one up as our demo boat, so you'll see it's got a lot more on it than a lot of other boats normally would. So we use it ourselves, okay? We also use it as taking customers on test drives and show them what their ultimate boat could perform like. Okay, so we've set it up the way that we have, with some of the latest mod cons, purely to show the customers what the boat is capable of doing and what they can do with their individual boat. They may not use all of them, but they're able to pick pieces apart from this boat and put it on their own. So on this one we've got the Yamaha F130. It's one of the best motors in its class. Fuel economy is awesome. On this one you're sitting around the 2.4 kilometres to the litre. Okay. Obviously the perks of a 4-stroke, you're not burning oil, there's no smell, they're quiet, and obviously fuel consumption is a big one. So that's one of the main reasons why I'd go with a 4-stroke on my boat. Look, the console layout is really a personal preference. The side console opens the boat up a lot more, so you really have no big console in the way. You've got a large front cast deck up the front. This serves two purposes. One, there's a lot of storage in the boat, but two, obviously if you're doing a lot of lure casting, that gives you the real estate up the front to utilise. This is the Minn Kota Altera 80 pound that we've got mounted on the front of this boat. It's a 60-inch shaft, it's an automatic stow and deploy, so it makes your life easier when you're fishing. There's no need to get right up the front. If you want to fish down the back, you can just double press the button and it deploys itself without you touching it. Okay, the unit that we've put in this boat is the Humminbird Helix 9 side imaging model. Okay, the reason that we went with this unit in this particular boat is screen size. That 9-inch display gives you nice clear picture. You also takes up a nice amount of space on the dash without utilising the whole dash. Really easy to use and clear. So the price on this this particular model, starting price, base price, you'd probably around that $46,000, $47,000 mark, and then to fully spec'd up, you know, option boat like this one, you're probably up over the $60,000 mark. So it gives you a nice broad price range to run with, depending on what suits you.
Okay guys, all of you out on internet land who think we don't go out on rough days to test boats, well, today was one of those days where it was borderline we couldn't get out there. But we took the big CJ 550 Velocity around the corner here at Cleveland, and it was a solid 25 knots of breeze with gusts higher than that and some pretty steep Moreton Bay style up and down swell. What I've learned about this hull, it's very beamy, and this is a massive, massive boat on the inside. But it's big enough, it's long enough, and it's wide enough to bridge a lot of the chop when it's less than, say, 3/4 of a metre. So basically any direction in the wind, at wide open, you've got no problems. It got up to about 70 kilometres an hour out in the bay here, using 1.4 or getting 1.4 kilometres per litre of petrol burnt. But if you dropped it back to 4,000 RPM, she got 2.9 kilometres for each litre of petrol burnt. So at those sort of rev ranges and that economical 4,000 RPM range, this thing was very economical, but a real weapon at anything under 3/4 of a metre. Get over that size and into the real nasty tide versus wind stuff, and like all boats of this size, you have to slow down to just over that on plane speed to get through it. And Troy was a great captain there today, took on the boat, took on the weather pretty well. If you quarter it, you're going to get wet. It's a big plate, high-sided boat. If it splashes water up, it's going to blow back across you. So driving into the wind, against the wind's fine, but quartering it, don't do it in 25 knots if you expect to stay dry. The Yamaha 130 threw this boat up onto the plane in around 4 seconds. Seems to be propped perfectly for this sort of boat, and the way the boat's set up, if you put a lot of weight in it, i.e. 3 people, maybe a lot of camping gear, this motor's still going to push it along quite nicely. It's got a 175 litre fuel tank inside it, so if you do your calculations, 175 times nearly 3, there's nearly 500 kilometres of range you can get out of this boat. So if you're going to go away for an extended weekend, you won't need to worry about refilling it. The Minn Kota, the Ulterra that we have on the front here, great bit of kit. The shaft is a little bit short for this boat. If you're in real rough water, you're going to find a little bit of ventilation of that propeller, but that is the biggest shaft that Minn Kota make. Just shows you the actual depth in this hull here. And I suppose another test of that depth was the fact that even at idle, through some of the rougher stuff, we couldn't put that bow of the boat underwater. All in all, the package itself, very easy to launch and retrieve off the trailer. It's got that twin axle aluminium I-beam trailer, which is a simple drive on, drive off. As soon as you have a drive on trailer, you're never going to have a winch on trailer again. And the guys from Stones Corner Marine have the motor height set up quite well. It's a great package. The guys know their product about Yamaha, and they know their product about CJ at Stones Corner Marine. If you want more information, visit their website at stonescornermarine.com.au or check out their social media on Facebook and Instagram. But until next time, this is on a rough morning on Moreton Bay. Steve Morgan from Fishing Monthly, checking out.